What's going on, Crypto Nation? And of course, my volume was on. Of course, fail. You want to know why it failed? Because of all this blood in the streets. Oh.
Well, it also failed because this was totally not planned. Like,
no.
Everything that's going on today in the markets, like I already said this to the podcasters. You guys are going to hear it again. I was just like, guys, we got to get online. Who's available?
Red alert. Calling all DCA team members. Red alert. Red alert.
Right. Look at all of this blood. I mean, Bitcoin. Look at that.
So red.
It's my favorite color.
It's at $4,600. Oh my God.
That's my favorite color.
This is not financial advice, but like Warren Buffett would say, when there's blood in the streets, you buy.
That's not where my head was going.
Man, I don't want to know where your mind went to in the gutter. Do we need to put do we need to put the gutter rails up for you like in bowling?
Oh man. No, seriously. Like I woke up this morning and what was the price? The price was like $7,000. And then it dropped.
Yeah. So I watched it from this morning, 8,000, 7,000, then 6,000, 5,000. I bought like just a little bit, and then 4,000. So I'm like, oh great, I already lost money. Awesome. Hey, you want to know how I look at it as? It's a tax write-off.
You know how I looked at it? Buying all the way down and buying all the way up. It's buying. The more Satoshis I can get, the better.
Hey, I'm just waiting for Crypto Mom's soul-crushing $1,000 Bitcoin because I've got a buy order down there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right. We know that Kayla loves to buy crypto when she gets the chance on Fridays, and I think she had a day off today, so she bought today, and this is what happened.
Right.
Thanks, Crypto Mom. Love you, Kayla.
You should warn us before you do that. I thought we had a deal going on here.
You're in Discord. Why aren't you giving us a heads up, girl?
Right. Be like, hey, I'm about to buy some, and I would have been like, oh, I'm watching it now.
Brace yourselves.
We're going down. It's like a roller coaster. You kind of come over the edge, and you're like,
So in the live stream chat, BitNative just asked, is Mikkel talking to his broker?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's fire.
Sell it all.
Find out what you got to move around, what I can liquidate, what I can hodl. It's okay. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Dude, like right now.
Techman YouTube. Techman, do you watch Gamers Nexus?
Oh yeah, he does.
Gamers Nexus, you're gonna have to educate me on that one.
So Gamers Nexus is a big computer tech guy who also does overclocking and stuff like stream overclocking with LM2 pots and stuff like that. He knows that because he's monetized. If you put Corona or COVID-19 into your title, say it in the middle of your stream, that video in particular will be demonetized. Well, and considering that he gets a lot of his revenue from YouTube, so he's like, well, I can't say it. So he comes out with, he's like, human malware. I was like, yes, I love it.
The most perfect explanation of what's going on.
Right.
It's like a human malware virus. It's perfect.
K-Dub from Crypto Zombie, he keeps on saying like the virus that shall not be named or something.
Yeah.
Because you can't say, because if you do, the video will get demonetized.
Right. I mean, that's like Harry Potter, you can't talk about him.
It makes you wonder, is YouTube demonetizing CNN and Fox News?
They're not monetized.
They're not monetized on YouTube?
Nope. A lot of the news places are not monetized. That's why they're able to talk about anything that they want, however they want.
Oh, that means that we can too, because we're not monetized at all.
We can pretty much, we can say Corona all day long. All day long. Let's pop open those Coronas. Yeehaw!
I still
Ole!
like the sound of a human malware virus.
Yeah, it sounds so much cooler.
Human
It
virus is
sounds
freaking
way
genius.
cooler.
That is genius.
Like, way cooler.
Yeah, and
So-
Digi's like, yeah, correct. They have their own advertising already on their regular TV, so that's
Yeah,
where they can
right.
generate everything.
Correct. Plus,
But hey, extra revenue stream is extra revenue stream. You'd think that even they would get into that.
Nah, they already know. I mean, the amount of money that you actually get from ads.
they would have to censor so much of their content.
Oh my God, that too. They would have to censor themselves because YouTube will censor you for you. And I think it's something like 25 cents per 1,000 views.
Yeah, that's about right.
Something like that.
Sounds about right.
So to them, that's not worth doing all the work for it. Not worth it.
I agree. It's not.
And at the end of the day, even for us, it's really not worth it. We would do better off getting paid ads and sponsorships.
That's how we have Patreon, which get to link down in the description.
Boom! Check that
because
out.
That helps us keep going, and we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Oh!
This video is sponsored by DogeLord.com. DogeLord.com
and the Family Mind LLC.
Oh man.
Yo, Jay, how's it going?
Yo, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear us?
So let
loud and clear.
me guess. You went all in, no stop losses, and as it went down, you had to put more money in so that you didn't get liquidated, right?
No, not even close.
Hold on, Mikkel. He got a quarter up on Nefarious.
I'm going. I still got right.
I will say he's had one heck of a day though.
Oh man, dude, it has been so hectic. It has been crazy all day. All
Dude,
Tell us
day.
about it, Jay. Tell us about it.
I had no idea it was gonna even happen either.
I called it. I called at least a $7,200 bit. I mean, Jay, you know this. I've talked to you about this personally.
Right.
I called 7,200. Well, we blew past that, but I knew we were coming back down. I knew it.
I figured we would come down. I figured we'd break the 7,000. I just did not think it was going to be,
You want to know what's even? You want to know what's even funnier? You know that channel that I showed you? We're in the bottom of my channel now.
That's good. That's good.
Dude, I
Everything
didn't.
lining
I
up.
called that I put all of my lines in the sand a month ago.
Well, if
And
you triggered that plan, you're sitting good then. You're sitting good.
I'm sitting pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Dude, a lot of people lost today. I mean,
that was crazy. The story you were talking about in the Discords.
Yeah. It's dude, you wouldn't believe the messages I'm getting right now. It's nonstop. I had to shut it off.
Had to take a small break. If they want,
Yeah.
they should just come here.
So
Yep.
you should
you
talk
go.
about that one guy. We won't name him by name.
Yeah, no names, but he's lost almost 10 grand. No stops. Entering every trade with no stops. As we were talking, more and more information came out on, because I'm like, man, I didn't lose 10 grand, so I don't understand. What are you doing? And yeah, not listening, doing the opposite of what me and Astro are recommending to do. I mean, we haven't called everything, pip for pip, but
Yeah, because in this space there are no gurus.
right.
You
can only give an educated
if
guess.
you can get your guess
Really good suggestions.
if your guess
Right.
is 60%, you're doing good. If your guess is 60%, right, Jay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You guys just seen I posted a pretty sweet long there. I caught that at the bottom, 4,100 area. Well, not the bottom, but pretty far down there.
Yeah, it's
close to it.
insane, the market swing on this. And a lot of people are, going, oh, it's all the weak-handed people liquidating. And it's like, I don't really particularly believe that it's just weak-handed people.
Right. I think after the dump, we might have seen some panic sell a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's not what started it. You know
No.
what I mean?
I think it's in two things. One, we have, the coronavirus getting everybody kind of panicking a little bit, so they're trying to put their money into assets
Toilet
that'll
paper.
hold their value.
Right.
So they want to get a sound asset. So some of them are going into short-term bonds and stuff like that, which I don't recommend touching bonds. That's government debt.
Right.
But then two, you have the leveraged exchanges. It looks like they might have triggered some of the sell-offs, liquidating the longs. Because no short position got taken out, and they made, and what is it? Bybit made like what, $300 million today.
Yeah, they. I mean, dude, their exchange. I think it's all across the board right now. Everybody's acting a little weird. As far as like, I just tried to buy off Coinbase, and they sent all my money back. They literally, I tried to buy at 3,800, and I just got an email. They sent all my money back to me, and said no. And I went right back in and bought with a lower amount, and they let me do it. But it was like they knew. You didn't know what I mean? They knew the spike was about to happen, because literally it was like 2 seconds after I was about to buy, we spiked back up to 5,000. So it was like, shit.
Oh!
But then Bybit this morning, I was, we were dumping pretty good, and again we had a violent pullback. And I longed it, scalped it. I was up 500%, and then everything froze. I couldn't enter a stop loss. I couldn't exit the trade. I couldn't do anything. It was just stuck. And I literally watched being up 500% and watched it go all the way to zero. So, I mean, and I recorded everything and got, you know what I mean? So, and Bybit's pretty good about making that right.
And DeRizla, that's a good idea. He's like, I stay away from trading. That's a monster like gambling. I have an addictive personality, and I don't need one more addiction. Oh yeah, right. I feel you on that. I mean, you get in a little bit of a trade. You're like, oh yeah, I got one. It's like sitting there taking a hit. You're like, oh, I got me a fix. And then you take a hit, and you take a loss on there, and you're like, oh man, if I throw just a couple more bucks at it, I'll get my stuff back, and then above more. So you just keep on doing that, and you're like, after a time, you're down 60% on your position.
Right. And being a new trader, you are going to take bumps and bruises. I've had all of them. I've experienced everything. I mean, that's why I make these videos, is try to tell you guys what not to do, and it's because I've learned from experience. It's not because I'm blowing smoke up your guys' butts. And don't DCA into a losing trade. That's the only time you don't run a dollar cost average. If you're losing, cut it, get out of it.
Right.
Live to trade another day. Don't think it's going to come back and save you. I mean, it might sometimes, but a lot of the times you're screwed.
And then
I think it's important to key into what you said there. You said don't DCA into a losing trade. But if you're just pure dollar cost averaging, I can get behind that. But
right.
that's what I do.
If you're leverage trading, if you're leverage trading, get out of it.
Red Panda Mining showed up. Oh, what's up, big guy?
He said he heard the word addiction.
He's like, I'm in. Because we all have one addiction in common: mining.
So Jay, real quick question.
Some of these.
There's plenty of people out there that are so panicking. Could you tell them, was this in the technical analysis or no?
The previous dump before this definitely was. I mean, I don't know if you want to say this is a continuation from the head and shoulders or the double top. It very well could be. I think it's a mixture of everything. The stock markets, they halted trading today. That does not happen. I think it's maybe happened twice.
Right.
And-
These are measures they got put in after the 1929 stock market crash that they would, if the market dropped too many points too quickly, they would enact a half-hour stall on trades. And if it kept on dropping, it's a 1 hour. And if it keeps on dropping after that, they shut it down for the day.
Right. It was a few days ago, me and Gundy were talking in the premium channel, and I had said, hey, Gundy, I've been seeing this correlation. I did not want to talk about it in public just because of the backlash that people sometimes get when they say this, but Bitcoin has definitely been correlating with the stock market here for the last week and a half.
Yes.
And it does not do that all the time.
But
Normally, we're doing all
I also see this too, is that when we did that pump initially to 14,000 to 10,000, there was no real volume in the market.
Right.
This was an unnatural pump in the market.
Yep.
So to see this pullback to where I figured we should have been to begin with, we shouldn't have hit any with the volume we had. We shouldn't have gone any higher than $7,200 on Bitcoin with no volume. The volume that we had would have triggered a little bit of a bump. Okay, cool. But not the way that we kind of skyrocketed. I mean, it was like massive bull run getting started up, and I'm like, something's just not right. None of the technical analysis is following this in the slightest bit, and especially when you compare it against volume. Volume is key.
And that's why you roll out on the higher time frame. I mean, it's scary to look and see that. I mean, there's really no big areas of support from here all the way down to back when Bitcoin was $1,000. I mean, looking at the charts, you have 3,800 down to like 32 is a decent area. We'll definitely have a fight if we fall that.
Yeah,
low.
I mean that's where our last bit of resistance is at 3,200.
So if that breaks, then I mean we're really going to plummet, and then you guys definitely be loading up, because this is going to turn around, and when it does, it's going to be off the hook just like it was when it dropped, because this year or next year will be the biggest change of as far as financially being free and people getting rich. And I think that's it's our turn now. We've never been able to buy stuff this low, especially stocks. Stocks are crazy cheap right now.
Yeah.
So,
and I still wouldn't I still wouldn't touch these stocks.
No. I still think we got some down to go yet.
No, the reason why I myself would not want to do that, because in order for me to even start remotely looking at a stock market, stocks have got to go below 2008. Because from 2008 until now, they've been just injecting money into these companies, these zombie corporations,
Right.
Insolvent banking industry, and to unnaturally prop up the stock market. You can't go on a 30-year bull run.
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's
a matter of
impossible.
time before the floor falls out. You know what I mean?
Right, and
I think that's partially what happened today. It was like the perfect storm. When you have people, worried about the coronavirus, when you have, enough people cashing out, that everybody else that was longing gets liquidated, causing even more droppage.
Yep. I think you're right. It was a mixture. It was, the exchanges halting trading. I think that scared a bunch of the big time guys. You know what I mean? They came in and they pulled everything.
What's his
everything
name
out.
from Nuggets News from Australia?
Yeah, he's good. I like
He
him.
was sitting there looking at the major whales' wallets. No coins moved
Really?
When was this?
today.
That's freaking crazy.
No whales moved their coin.
No whales moved any coin.
Did not move any coin. These whales are in it for the long haul. They're not day trading. They're not swing trading. They're stacking stats and chill.
I bet they're definitely stacking today.
Huh?
I said, I bet they're definitely stacking today. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
Had a violent pullback there just a minute ago. So.
Yeah, because we're sitting at on Coin 360 right now. We're sitting at 51.68.
Oh, it's gone up a little bit.
Yeah, it's going up a little bit. I got 54.34 on Coinbase right now.
Yeah, it's amazing across the board on all the different exchanges. Like Bybit is like $500 different from Coinbase.
Oh, what I like about Coinbase, it might say
arbitrage opportunity today.
So here, let me. So it's listing it at
Definitely.
It's listing it at $5,648 on Coinbase, right? So if I go to act like I'm going to buy. Oop, back up here. Set up a trade, make it look like I'm doing a purchase real fast here. And they will buy. Wow, it wasn't doing this earlier today. Earlier today they had it was like a $200 difference from what you saw to what you could buy.
Yeah, actually, yeah. When I tried to buy on Coinbase, it was like $150. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
I was
too.
trying to do.
Okay,
it was like
so
150 difference.
Coinbase is now looking like it's 5,609, and it's trying to sell Bitcoin to me at $49 more, plus their fee that they have on it.
Yeah.
That's some highway robbery right there. That's what I tell you. What? They're trying to steal from me. That's theft.
I mean, how else are you gonna get it for some people though? Some people don't know any other way. Some people don't have any other way. Some people are just gonna pay that.
Or no, a lot of people aren't going to pay attention to that because it's on the last screen. It's like confirm, and you're just going to look at it and go, yes, $100, confirm. And if you don't pay attention to what it's actually listing the Bitcoin at, you're not realizing that you're getting shafted from Coinbase directly. They're charging you $3 on your trade, plus they're scalping you on the actual price. So at the end of the day, they're over 5%.
Well, here's a question though.
You know
like,
it,
okay,
DG.
so if they are
Chilling.
charging like an extra $49 above market price, right? That might actually account for the.
I'll
drastic
tell you what.
fluctuation. If their only fee is like whatever it is for however much you're trading, like what percentage that is, then the remaining should go. You would think what you're purchasing. That would make the most sense.
If they're going to
Plus-
charge
Plus
charge
the
it,
minor fee. Don't forget about
Right.
the minor fee.
if you're going to charge me a fee,
But no,
just be upfront about it. Be man enough to be like, yo, this is our fee. And be done with it. Don't be sitting there and hoping that somebody doesn't realize it, that here it is. If they were trying to buy at $4,680, it was actually trying to sell it to them at $4,822.
Yeah, the exchanges kicked ass today. I mean, no doubt about it. They are made
Money-making
to take our
machines.
money. Yes.
Money making machines today. I don't know. It's interesting kind of seeing how this is really going to pan out. I would love to see it go back a little lower, just to see if we'll go back and test some lower,
I think it
some
will.
lower end again, and then
And it's like all these miners are going to start capitulating coming down this far.
oh, I'm sure
Oh,
people are
God.
already. I mean, difficulty's already dropping
Yep.
on a lot of coins. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you've seen people already say it and ask it. You know, when's a good time to charge your rigs off?
Yep.
Or, you know,
Yeah, I've already been asked that myself.
you know, like it's.
And I had to tell them that my my rigs don't have power buttons and the power cables are super glued in.
Yeah.
So even if I got weak hands, I can't turn the rig off. I'm sorry.
Well, why would you want to turn the rig off? Why would you want to?
Because
I
then-
wouldn't want to.
Shutting the rig off because you're making less dollars. Because in a huge, we were going from like $8,000 like 2 days ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people were making $8,000 profit. Now they're making $5,000 profit. You know, so like
And if you're spending, let's say $6,000 in electricity to earn $5,000, you're turning the farm off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
chasing dollars.
Yeah, well, to a bigger mining facility, this means everything because let's say that let's say they're doing 500 Bitcoin a month. Okay, they're gonna have somewhere upwards to $30,000 electric bill. So with those people in mind, they are exchanging either every week or every month to pay the capital on their initial loans that they've gotten for the mining facility, if they have any left, and to pay off the electricity and to pay people. Because with a big farm like that, me and Mikkel couldn't run a farm like that by ourselves. No way. That would be impossible.
Okay. All right, so in the chat, the Rizla said, "Don't know about y'all, but my new hustle is toilet paper."
Hey, I was just making a joke about this.
I'm not done reading it though. The chat's going too fast. He said, selling that by the gram. There was a kid in the Midwest who was arrested for selling single squirts of Purell. Hand sanitizer.
Well, you all, it's illegal to teach your kids to sell lemonade in front of your house. Why? Because the United States government did not get their business license, and you can't pass Food and Drug Administration. So
and you're not getting any taxes.
And you're not getting taxes.
You have to have a food handler's license.
Oh yeah, they made ways. I mean, back when these politicians were kids, this is what they did. Now it's illegal because they don't want the next generation to have the same opportunities they had. They have to shut the doors down behind them in order for them to keep their seat of power. They don't want to be in competition with anybody.
Yep. Tis the season.
Here we go. 5,700.
Ooh, let's see a live screenshot. Let's see a live screenshot.
Yeah, I can show you Coin 360.
Oh, do it. Because Brian's is kind of frozen.
No, I was trying to set this up with the Logitech software, and for some reason, I don't know what's going on with Logitech, but usually I could put a live screen behind me, and it won't let me do it. It's like...
Cool. There you go, guys. Everybody can see everything, too.
That chart I posted earlier.
Beautiful.
We were bouncing off the lines just perfectly.
There we go. Make it even better.
Red and black are my two favorite colors. If you hadn't noticed.
But there's that.
If you hadn't noticed.
There's that USDT on there.
Yeah.
Hold on, he's on there too?
He's hanging out right below us.
Right.
Oh, snap.
The digital dollar. The digital dollar actually has more value than a dollar. Imagine that.
How is that even possible?
Because they're liquidating and putting it into the USDT. And it can't keep up.
Yeah. Ethereum is broken now. Once again, because they have their liquidity issue. Once they get like congested on their platform, and now fees on Ethereum are through the roof again.
Yeah.
It looks so bad looking at Coin 360, but everything that I've bought today, I'm actually up. So it's good.
Oh yeah. It's like it's like all the hodlers have just lost 30% of what they've been hodling.
I got some Litecoin for $29.
Woo!
I don't think I'd be able to do that again. That was pretty cool.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
DeRizza, he said he scooped up some Ethereum earlier at $93.
Nice.
That's a score.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I don't like Ethereum, but at $93, like, I don't like Ethereum. But, like, let's be honest, like, it's not going anywhere.
No.
Soon. Like, nowhere. Like, it's like solidified its spot here in this space.
Right, love it or hate it.
So much going on in its ecosystem, it cannot go anywhere.
Yeah, and that comes back to one of my fundamentals. You know, it's like be the Uber of your space.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. I give it up to them. I mean, I don't like the centralized nature that Vitalik Buterin has put out on the platform, but he's doing it right.
Yeah. So, I mean, kudos to you, I guess. I just don't agree with what's going on in the mining space, but
well, they're not doing
space,
they're not doing prog pow now. I mean,
yeah,
so
I know.
They're just gonna wait until all the 4 gig cards get kicked off.
I have some 4 gig cards to sell if anybody wants any. I have 2 left.
And they're currently not mining.
Yeah, they're currently not mining. Yeah.
It's like, dang it.
I like the worst time too, because Ethereum Classic's difficulty went down really low today, and I've missed out on a whole day's worth of like mining off of like one rig. So I'm like, I would say half power, but I'm more than half power down, because right now I have more AMD cards than I do NVIDIA cards.
Because everybody wants NVIDIA.
And my AMD rig is the one that went down. So I lost like, I don't know, like 150 mega hashes.
Woo!
Or so, give or take. So, yeah. It's a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. Yeah. So.
Gary, I'm going to disagree that they should have done prog pow. There is a lot of issues with prog pow implementation, especially if they are going to proof of stake. If they're going to proof of stake, they just need to worry about making proof of stake, getting that rolled out. Stop trying to figure out, we're going to get rid of these ASICs off of here. I don't like mining anymore. If you don't like mining anymore, don't put out prog pow, which is even more energy intensive. You use more electricity trying to mine prog pow. So you are even more inefficient than the inefficiency that Vitalik Buterin already says there is.
Correct. Yeah, I will too, Gary. Gary says he has 15 4 gigabyte cards. He says, I will mine until they die.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to keep mining Ethereum Classic with them until as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Because I have like an 8 gigabyte card and then a 16 gigabyte card.
And then the other problem with going to prog pow that a lot of people overlook is it implements it back to, and I know this is probably what you're liking, Gary, is that it goes back to a 1 gigabyte DAG file. This herein lies the issue. So if I make a 1 gigabyte DAG file, I can now make ASICs even cheaper.
For real, because memory modules would be even cheaper.
Right.
A whole lot cheaper.
I don't have to put as much on there. I can make a high hashing machine at bottom dollar and roll them out. And
I mean, what? E3 only has how many gigabytes of
each
RAM?
module has 4 gigabytes of RAM on there, and they just got kicked off of Ethereum Classic.
And what? End of year, or was it April? No, end of year for Ethereum, right?
Yeah, end of year for Ethereum.
April for Ethereum Classic. If it isn't now,
No,
it'll be
April for all 4 gigabyte cards. ASICs, the E3s are already done with the Ethereum Classic because
Windows rigs will be first, so everybody is aware.
Right. The problem is with like the E3 Antminers was that they're running a 32-bit OS, which doesn't unlock the memory modules all the way. You need a 64-bit OS if you want to use all 4 gigabytes. Since they're on 32 gigabytes, they get to use 3.5 gigs of memory instead of the 4. So they're done. And I'm sure Bitmain knew that they were going to be end of life at some point. I'm sure of it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, He says, when can 6 gigabyte cards get cut out a long time from now?
Yeah. You'll have a few more. You'll have a couple
well,
more years on a 6 gigabyte.
Yeah, I don't think before the 6 gig cards will even be touched. I don't think Ethereum will even be on.
They'll be proof of stake
or whatever.
And then Ethereum Classic will be moving over to SHA-3.
Right.
Which SHA-3? That's FPGA land. No GPUs will be profitable on SHA-3.
Correct, Mundo.
But I'm looking
8 gigabyte cards are safe proof.
Yes.
Or at least for a while. Quite a while.
I'm looking at the price on the screen versus Coinbase. There's like a $600 difference.
Yep. It depends on what I forget what 3 other exchanges Coinbase bases their info off of.
Like right now, I'm trading on Bybit at $5,400, and on Coinbase it showed me that it's $58.
Yep.
Yeah. So now's like a really good time to arbitrage.
Yes, if the blockchain isn't slow as shit, and by the time you get it over there, you lost it all.
If you're wondering when Lambo Digi, this is when you stack sats, and when it fires off, you can probably get whatever you want.
Yep.
Stack the sats while it's down, and we have April and May prices like from last year. Like, literally, like those people who didn't get in, they're like, oh, I want it to go back down. Now's the time. Not financial.
This is when we were all asking for it. Here it is.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing that gives me a little bit of concern is we're coming up to the halving. If the price stays down this low coming up to the halving, very few miners will be profitable mining Bitcoin directly. And with that being
said, this slope to the halving, we're in for a lot more problems.
Yeah, this is going to be an extended issue if we're here at the same price range with the halving, big time.
For sure. If we're not over, I say at least like 10K or so by the halving, we're gonna go into like some kind of wintry funness.
I mean, there are.
So let's
like
say
Plan B.
scenario.
Plan B on Twitter is calling for $1,000 Bitcoin now.
Now, didn't I just tell you guys that? You scroll back on the higher time frames and you look at it. Can I share my screen? You just share my screen. I'll just show
let's
you
go ahead
guys.
and swap it out.
Show you guys what I'm talking about.
Heck no.
Oh, let me unplug one of my monitors here.
You got one too many monitors, eh?
Alright.
Ooh, yay.
So, back in 2015, we did the same thing where we had our golden cross right here, and then we confirmed it with our higher moving average, and it ended up being a fake out. Okay, we ended up coming back and dipping back down for death crosses over here in this area before we consolidated, and then we actually had the real golden cross and we shot up $20,000. The MAs and how everything is lining up is like the exact same way it was back in 2015 when everything started going up at the very, very beginning. And I definitely think that's what's happening now. I think we'll probably consolidate down into $3,000 or $4,000 area for a while, a couple months, and then we're going to take off for sure. The chart we posted earlier,
Happenings in 60th. Better not be a couple months.
Right. Yeah, we got 60 days.
Oh man, yeah, you guys are killing me.
Jinx Bitcoin.
You guys are killing me. But I think right now, short term, we are going to come back up and test probably the 6,000, 6,100 area right in here. Bounce off of that. We should probably reject here because we do have some heavy resistance over there. So I think we'll reject, and we'll stay in between $3,000 and $4,000. And if we end up breaking that, this is the biggest zone of support we have left, is down here. We break this 3,300 and just
we're gonna start testing the miner's ability to stay afloat.
Yes. There's nothing here, you guys. There's nothing. We just punched through this one, or no, we tested it. We're gonna break through that. So here and here is our only two spots of support. If we break this, we're gonna fall down to. You guys' pictures are in my way.
The only thing that I say that. Now I've got two trend lines that I've drawn. One that takes into account the 2017 bull market rally, and then one that takes into account the overall full market movement. And if you take just the full market movement, we are still in overbought territory. Way overbought still.
Ooh, that's not good.
If you take it, I mean, if you take away the parabolic movement out of there, Bitcoin should be no higher than $4,000.
Yeah, I mean the true value of it probably is right around there. You can see right here, 3,400 is our last resort. We break that, Then you got all this down here, dude. That's $282 Bitcoin.
Draw a line directly out of there, as straight as can be from the very beginning, and make sure that you stay through the level part of before the parabolic movement, and draw the line straight out from there. And you'll see where the market. If you just you tilt it and you have it follow
coming up.
Yeah, you have it follow the same trend line.
Let's draw that.
So markets should increase in value slowly over time. But if you bring that line out from the beginning of Bitcoin and you make sure that it stays touching that whole beginning portion of when it was fluctuating $20 to $1,000 coming all the way up,
right? $4,000 to $5,000 Bitcoin is where it's putting us.
Yeah.
You're saying true market value of Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think we've pumped it up and injected all kinds of money into it.
Because if everybody wants to call this digital gold, we're way overvalued over gold.
I agree.
I mean, being a miner, I derive my prices from the evaluation of Bitcoin going on its fundamentals. But at the same time, true market value says that that the correction that we're having is either being manipulated, that we went up and now we're correcting back to where it should be, or it pumped up and somebody's manipulating it back down.
Right.
And if it's being manipulated back down, that sounds like Wall Street and the bankers putting in, doing their trick of naked short sales to artificially deflate the market, or you have a bunch of people that basically they pump the market up real hard, and it was like that balloon that just couldn't hold the air in, and it just keeps on withering back down.
Right. This is it's a good play on their part, especially with all the stuff going on right now. Let's put the fear of God into everybody and scare them so bad that they sell all their stuff and they're taking losses, and really all these big guys are buying all this up right now, buying it up and laughing at everybody because they know
we just hit under 5K again.
They know once it turns around and we have a rebound, it's going to be huge. And that even goes for stocks. You know, I do think those are going to go lower too, but you know, there's people buying them up. I think we'll probably we'll test the $6,000 area sometime again, and probably reject off of there. We'll have to test it a few times before we break back through it, since we have such an area throughout the chart there. But that's our main area to look through if we're wanting to go up higher. We have to break through that first, and then just follow, you know, the biggest ones you can see, the biggest resistance areas. Mark those out, and those are the ones you want to watch. Don't be like flipping down to an hour time frame and doing it there. You'll just drive yourself crazy.
I mean, me personally, at this point, with the way that if you look at the market, what the true market trend line should actually be, I mean,
we're right
even
on par.
we're in the range of being on par. So anything from about, I would say, like a low side of like $2,500 to $4,000 is
Right.
where Bitcoin's true evaluation should be, in between. Because you could sit there and take like an average trend line and draw it through from start to finish, and you won't land on that trend line perfectly. You're going to be above it some months, below it some other months, but you should have that natural growth line. And
Right. The key is if you close above it. You know, once you close above that trend line, and if you look and you go back through, we don't ever close above it.
Yep.
Or below it.
yeah,
You know, it's every time we're coming back above. So, I mean, I agree with you 100% on that statement for sure. It's just everybody else, you know, injecting the money into the market.
yeah, and then you got
manipulating.
everybody else that are going, I got into Bitcoin because I wanted to buy a mansion. I wanted my Lambo. Where's my Lambo? Who do I sue for this? I don't have a Lambo.
This is not financial advice, but
Right.
Lambos are really expensive.
Yeah, really
Yeah, they
expensive.
cost about $4,000 a month just to maintain them.
Yeah, and that's
Hey,
if you
guys.
can drive it every day.
Get in our Discord rooms, because we're talking about all this stuff before it even happens. So,
Yeah,
I mean, everybody would have had a pretty good idea.
Every
of
link you
what was
need
going on.
are down in the description below.
Mhm.
From the Patreon to the Anchor, where you find the podcast, to the Discords, all the Discords, not just the DCA Discord, but the Family Mind Discord, the Crypto Mentors Discord, the Doge Lord Insiders Discord, which ironically is all four of us right here.
yep.
All of our perspective Discords that we each, you know, have our own piece of course, not just DCA Venture, where we all kind of bring together our own flair and the collective, but we have our own separates. So
Yeah, so collectively
Everything in your
we are all
flavor.
one, but we also have our own individual hustles as well.
Oh yes.
yeah, so we really appreciate it. You know, if you want to talk way more in-depth trading, you know, head in the Crypto Mentors Discord, as well as join the DCA Discord, so you can talk a little bit in there and get a little bit of the insides of what we're doing here at DCA Adventure, because that's where, if anything is trading related within DCA Adventure's team, we post it in there. You know, so if you want to like see what we're doing, that's where you go to see what we're doing over there.
And if you guys noticed today's thumbnail on the YouTube channel, that was actually something that Jay put together for me for the Instagram. But typically, he puts those together and puts them in the paid DCA trading, you know, Discord channel, and then Instagram finds out about it a day or two later. All right, if you want to get the up-to-date information, that's where you guys need to be.
Right, and don't think that you can sit there and pop on to, like, you know, some of the bigger traders that everybody knows, like Tone Vase or
Data Dash.
Data Dash. Even Data Dash tells you straight up. He's like, I give my Patreon users the spot information either a half a day to a full day before he puts it onto YouTube.
Yep.
Right. It doesn't, you know, it ain't fair to them guys. You want all your Patreons and and those people getting the information first.
First, they get first dibs. They're paying for the privilege to have that VIP.
Yep. So I mean, you want to get insider trader like access, like join the Patreon. Go down in there, and you can join in the DCA your trading tier is what it's labeled on there, and it gets you into the trading.
And don't worry, we will not message you to
tier.
join the trading group on Discord. We just don't do that.
No.
I get so many of those in Discord. Join our trading group. It's like,
Right.
no, it's a scam.
No, we have
My
different
favorite
tiers.
are the pump and dump groups. Oh, I love those.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I love those people.
I want to give a shout out
amazing.
to DGX Diamond right now. Diamond just said, plus, the DCA script by Astropark is legit.
Yo.
You know, so, yeah.
Hey,
if you guys
nerd.
want
Yo.
access to that, that's where you guys need to be. But, yeah, we have a free trading channel, but we also have the paid trading channel. All right?
Mhm.
And we don't spam, hey, join the paid one in the Discord, okay? It is what it is. You know, general chats for general chat. We talk about whatever we want,
Right.
you know, and then each channel has its own specialty. You know, we try to keep it that way.
Yep.
All right. And we try to respect that for our patrons,
Right.
you know? So,
And if you want to join Patreon and like have more than one tier, there is a tier for that.
Right. Got a couple
but
of those.
you'll have to DM us though at that point, because it will unlock everything for you on the Patreon side, but for the Discord side, I'll have to
Manually do
unlock-
it. Yeah.
I'll have to unlock multiple tiers because I can't allow multiple tiers at once.
Right. It was too hard to figure out how to get it to.
It just doesn't let you. It doesn't let you link more than one role for Patreon, for the Patreon bot. So, this is what it is. If you want to join in more than one role, just message any one of us.
Yeah, the only thing that we have issues with right now are like Facebook spam bots, but the second they're spotted, we kick them out.
Yeah.
Right?
I never even see what they post. You guys get them out so quick.
I'm usually.
Oh my
pretty much
God.
on
Me and Mikkel are like quick drop. They're infiltrating. Dink.
Yeah, and I can't ban people from my phone. So I usually, as soon as I see it, it's always the same.
You just long click their name.
Yeah. I was about to say I've done it at
Just
work.
long click their name, and it'll pull up the thing, and it'll be red, and it'll say ban.
Yep.
You just click it, and make sure it's selected for posts with the last 24 hours.
You learn
Because
something new every
that'll
day.
remove all the posts that they did the last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like those bots, because at first it was just the one bot and it posted in like one channel, but now there's like these multiple posting channel bots where they'll get in there and they'll post in like multiple channels. They'll
I wonder
post
if those
in, like,
people are
3
doing.
or 4 channels at the same time, same message, and you're like, oh my gosh! So
It's like I wonder if they're doing this to like all Discord channels. Like anybody who,
guaranteed.
it doesn't even matter if they're in the crypto or not. You know.
I've seen the same one go through 3 channels.
But I'm saying like somebody who they do clothing and they got a Discord for it. Are they sitting there and spamming them too?
Oh, probably not. Are you seeing that in Doge Lord Insiders?
I am not seeing that in Doge Lord Insiders, but I will also tell you that if
But
you
he's all.
join the Doge Lord Insiders, you will not be spammed with a whole bunch of freaking nonsense. The only time I post in there is when there's an actual update, and the Discord gets it before anybody else.
Ooh, insider. Ooh.
Yep. Which, by the way, since we are talking about Doge Lord right now, you guys can get your DCA merch at dogelord.com. Just type in the coupon code free shipping, all caps. Yeah, let's go ahead and exit the screen share so we can show off that nice hat that Mikkel's wearing. Yo.
Oh, we got a
He
gun,
shows up at like the last 4 minutes of the show.
Well, he had to work today, so
Yeah, he did.
he's got more. He's got a
it's
little
a
bit of time.
Thursday.
Yeah, he's got a little time on a Friday, and he's usually rolling in like moments before we go live. So
Yeah.
Work
He's up.
sucked today. During all this craziness, man, I was just so anxious all day. I just
Oh,
wanted
I
to
was
be
out in the
over.
rain. I was out in the rain.
oh man, yesterday I went home a little early with the stomach flu. Oh god, and probably like around 9-10 o'clock I finally like woke up and I was like drowned in sweat, and I'm like, I feel really tired, but I don't feel horrible.
You sure it was a stomach flu?
Yeah. The wife had it. I got it. She shared it with me. She's like, here, have some. No, I was kidding. She tried to isolate
There you go.
herself.
That's
like
a
a
sign
real-
of true love right there, when your spouse will share, in sickness and in health.
Right. Literally. Yeah, she tried to like keep it away from me and stuff like that, but
Just
you're in the
so
same
dry,
you're in the same household, and she was sleeping out on the couch while I had the bed to myself. I mean, she sacrificed. She could have kicked me out to the couch.
Are you saying the green screen didn't provide a barrier?
I don't leave this thing up. It takes up half my living room. This is in my living room, okay? So I've got real estate behind me that the wife would be really mad if I just took this up.
Not me. I just got mine thumbtacked to the wall.
Yeah, the wall is like another 10 feet back.
No, not for me.
Because, like, my hands are on the green screen.
So when 3.2K, guys? Come on.
Soon, Gundy. Soon.
soon.
I hope, buddy.
Soon.
Trying to buy a whole one.
Right. We were discussing that it was probably because Crypto Mom probably bought Bitcoin today.
Oh yeah.
She probably bought Bitcoin today. Mikkel, you should watch your fingers. You might get it stuck in the fan blade. Because that blade looks like it should take your head off. It's pretty- I can't.
What if the F1 Mini really was that big?
Dude,
Better do a lot.
Have like a
better do
200
whole lot
millimeter
more
fan on
hash
top
power.
of it.
Oh, you could- that's actually a box fan.
right?
That's a 10-inch.
Yeah.
That's a 10-inch box fan on top of a metal
Right.
rig.
On top of a mining rig.
Man, think about if the graphics cards were that big, on how big a computer case would be and how huge a laptop would be. Laptops would never get graphics cards.
They never would have been called laptops. They would have been called tabletops.
Right.
Well, the first hard drives were like the size of rooms.
Right. But if graphics cards were that big, then laptops would be portable tables.
It'd be a push button and legs pop out of it.
Right? It's like Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget legs.
Crazy.
Terrible.
And
Terrible.
just carry the whole desk in a suitcase.
So I'm glad to see none of you guys got dead by Corona yet.
Yeah.
Dead.
So yeah, I had the stomach flu. I feel really. I was kidding. No, I actually I feel a lot better.
Hold on though. Let's not make too many jokes because it's not too far away from Jay.
It's
Yeah,
actually not that far away from me too.
They
It's close
just
to
shut.
everyone, man.
They shut all of our schools down. We are
They're,
done with school for 3 weeks.
They just got a confirmed case 30 minutes from me.
Oh yeah, you're screwed.
They're already talking. They already told kids at school to take home all of their books and all of their school stuff that they're probably resuming online.
Yep,
When
that
you,
has to go.
homeschooling, yeah.
you will me your mining rigs.
Yeah, the county I live in, they took off today to have teachers
I
learn
got
how to
dips
teach
first, okay.
digitally.
Right, my business partner gets first dibs.
You've already got some. I need to get some experience in. I need, somebody needs to step up to be the second man on the show.
There's a huge learning curve.
He's the power of attorney, so.
Oh, well, that.
I don't know about all that.
Business partner for sure.
Hey, Will,
At
amidst
the Family
all
Mine
this,
LLC.
amidst all this trauma, this is all the government's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Printing that tasty fiat.
Oh, that's what they're gonna hope that is gonna solve all of this. They're gonna
Well, it
hope.
will temporarily, like it has been for the past, since 2008.
Yeah, they're like, hey, our economy just got hit by Michael Myers and his little butcher knife. Put a Band-Aid on it. No, hold on. Put 2.
And a rubber band.
Because it's like a lot of people don't pay attention to it, but the repo market, which isn't like repoing your car, it's the overnight lending market for banks. Because a lot of people don't understand how banks work. Banks have to have so much cash on hand at the end of each business day. So at midnight, I know it sounds weird, business day, and it's midnight. At midnight, they have to have whatever it is in their vaults, and they have to be able to prove it. If not, they either have to go to Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and get a loan, overnight loan, which they stopped doing that. They have completely stopped doing it. So now their only choice is to go to the Fed, the lender of last resort. So now, since last year, they've injected over $400 billion. And get this, they're going to be doing this starting, I think, this week or next week, where, get this, usually it was overnight. So they had 24 hours to pay this loan back, okay? Now, they're going to give them 3 months to pay this loan back. And we all know that they'll get extensions on this.
Oh yeah.
Or
Sure.
So
default.
no, they can't default. They're too big to default. That's according to the government. They are too big to default. They will bail them out at all costs at this point. You cannot taper off a Ponzi scheme. So right now, they are going to be doing in 2 parts $500 billion. $1 trillion they're going to be giving these bankers to be able to utilize for 3 months tax-free. And on top of this, they are going to be doing on a daily basis, during this whole time, $175 billion on top of it. And we wonder why our market's tanking. Is the United States going to turn into a third world country?
Boom.
People have been distracted by the coronavirus when the overnight lending market is out of control. And that's also what's starting to tank the economy. You don't inject money into the economy because the economy's doing good. You don't cut interest rates because the economy's doing good. You do this because you see an impaling failure. And they've been doing this since last year, before the coronavirus. So now we got the flu. That's basically the new thing to talk about because, don't talk about the repo market.
Right. Do this over here.
Misdirection.
We want you to look over here while we're over here.
Here, Trump. That's all I have to say, right? You forgot about the overnight repo market because I said Trump.
Hey, I do have some bad news though. On the daily chart, the DCA script just turned to a red money flow index wave.
Ooh!
It takes a lot to make that thing flip colors like that. So.
Oh no!
So we
Please
go
explain to the viewers what that means.
going down.
Yeah, pretty much means we're going down.
Hell yeah.
Wait to buy any. What the money flow index wave does is it is measuring the flow of money in and out of an asset, whether it is bullish or bearish.
Nerds like $2,400 incoming.
Honest to God, my lowest prediction, worst case, absolute worst case, $1,300. $1,300 Bitcoin.
Beastie.
I I know.
I've got.
Crypto Mom
I have
herself
a
is
buy.
gonna be jumping for joy.
I
Yeah,
have
I
a
think
buy
she's the one
order.
calling 1800. I think.
Yeah, I have a buy order at 1800. That's where I've also got one at. Oh yeah.
Now that was just a quick glance. It might be more around 1800. The thicker line that I was using, it looked like 1300 to me. So it's possible. I mean, it is possible for sure.
DG Diamond. Go
I
big,
don't know,
go
man.
home, right?
I have a feeling if it gets that low, it'll be that low for like 12 hours, and then
Right, if it
just
gets that
skyrocket
low,
back up to $8,000.
I have a 04 Monte Carlo SS. It's got a 3800 supercharged. It's the Intimidator edition, so it's Dale Earnhardt. I will
Why are you
sell it.
saying if? You should just go ahead and sell it now. That way you have the money when you need it.
No, it's like mining, okay?
How are you gonna put a big block in that bitch, then?
you do not
I heard that.
I heard that too, clean as day. No, you see, it's like mining. You do not pull it off the mining rig until it's sold. So until Bitcoin gets down that low, man, that thing's gonna get enjoyed.
Oh yeah, cash
Yeah,
in
but-
hand.
I love melting the tires
Put
off
out
of
the
that thing. Come
advertisement that,
on.
hey, it's for sale. Dude, when you put the advertisement out that it's for sale, you're gonna be waiting for somebody to buy it.
Well, with the way the
it's gonna
way
rise
that
back
we're
up
hyper,
before you get a
well, maybe, just maybe. Now, follow me on this one. I might be going on a long limb on this one, but if the government keeps on printing this money, if we do it, it's illegal. But for them, it's okay. But they're printing this funny money. But if they print enough of it, would my Monte Carlo be worth more a little bit later on, just because there's too much cash in circulation? I mean, think about it. If you go to Venezuela, you take $100 of American money to Venezuela, I think you're a millionaire instantly.
Well, you have to carry I think it was 2 or 3 suitcases worth, like duffel bags worth of Venezuelan dollars to just have $100 in U.S. cash.
Right, which would make you a millionaire. It's $100, you're a millionaire. Boom.
Yeah, but a millionaire means nothing because you have to be a millionaire.
It doesn't matter. Hey,
It means everything.
it means everything. You can say you are a part of the elite millionaire club. I mean, it's bragging rights all day long.
Well, you could say that for the amount of freaking dirt you got under your beard.
Dude, in 10 years, people are going to be
With
like,
great
"You're
beard
only a
comes great
millionaire?"
power.
Like 5-10 years, they're going to be like, "You only have $1 million? You must be poor as hell."
How do you even make it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, jeez.
You even work out?
My Civic costs, $800,000. What the fuck?
I wouldn't hope a Civic doesn't cost no $800,000.
Sure it will, man. You print money enough.
Okay, nerd. If I'm totally wrong, how much is $100 get you in Venezuelan? I don't even know what they call their dollars.
I don't know, but it's more and more every day. I know that.
Yeah. They don't save anything because they're printing so much. It's that their paper's worthless.
Yeah, you put
Like the
700
wheelbarrow
in,
is worth
you
more
only
than
get
the
600
barrel
out in
full
2
of
months.
cash that they got in it. He said that milk costs $50 US.
In Venezuela. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. Venezuela has got some major political issues, and if you really think about it, Venezuela being an experiment with a whole country. They've done these experiments in other countries too. Greece had their economical crash, other countries have too, where their banks shut down for months at times. I remember hearing stuff about this with smaller countries back in the 90s. Now we're seeing it replay on some of the more major countries. And here it is, the United States, starting the hyperinflation. Did our government figure out how to do it? Are we going to try to implement the same garbage economics, this Keynesian economics?
Of course.
Of course they are.
You gotta ride that pony till it's dead on the ground, bro.
Yeah, and then like what Nerd's saying, prices will also increase. And guess what? The government's going to be like, no, it's not us. It's the retailers increasing their price. That's the problem. And then they're going to do what they did in Rome, which was they're going to tell the people what you're allowed. They did it in Germany, too. They will tell you what you can sell your stuff for. And then your choice is either to stop selling what you're making and work for somebody for nothing, basically, or you're going to be sitting there selling your legal products on the black market so you can make your value.
Love it.
Well, all I know is if you vote for Bernie Sanders and they start the bread line, I'm going to be beating up everybody and taking their bread.
What happens if you find somebody bigger than you doing that?
That's why you got a gun.
You get a
You get a bigger guy.
You bring some other guys with other guns.
Black eye.
Oh. I just said bigger guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing insinuating over here.
I'm just a man with big
Yeah,
fans.
Whitey. God.
Right? Got Whitey Ford over there.
Just a man with big fans.
Well, it can't be Whitey Ford. He likes his Subaru, so he's like Whitey Subaru.
Aw.
Oh yeah.
Well, Whitey Ford was from Everlast, the band. If you guys.
Whitey. And you're showing your age now, bro.
I know.
I
I'm a little old.
I can't even connect artists with the songs. I just know the song. And if you tell me who the artist is, I'll believe you because I don't freaking connect it.
I believe you.
I don't care.
Barney sang it. Okay, I believe you. I'm sure that purple dinosaur did a fantastic job.
It's just not important.
Craziness.
Oh man!
It's just
But
crazy.
for sure,
Alright, so,
I posted a link up above. I'm gonna post it
Oh,
again
Digi's
right
like,
now.
I didn't hear
Yeah.
anybody talk about Lebanon. What happened with Lebanon?
Uh-oh.
I saw something in the news aggregate about it, but I didn't see anything else. I didn't read into it. There was so much stuff going on in the last few days. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, there were so many bot notifications for news, it was ridiculous.
It's been
Most of it
going
was
off the
price-based.
chain. But for real, I just posted a link again. Go check that out. Open that link in a new tab. Go
Mark
comment your
Nefarious.
BTC address.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead and mark Nefarious.
Comment your BTC address or that you love Bitcoin. And stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream.
Yes.
Win
Yeah, you have to be
Yeah.
present.
Bitcoin swear jar.
I just checked. There's only 15 comments. It looks like a couple doubles too. I mean, you guys need to get in there.
Right. All you people. Every one of you. I'm talking to you.
Giving away, the
All
the
11
gold.
of you.
Come get some.
No. We're talking to the future, the 11 of you that are watching. You right now, comment on it, and then the future people comment on it too.
What are you?
And then be here live tomorrow.
So cheesy.
Don't be a passive watcher. Be active in the community.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's more fun to be active because that's when you win.
that $20 buys you almost double the BTC right about now.
Seriously?
For real.
Well, no.
Talk about
Look at it.
DCA.
No. Look at it this way. They're
It's
already
an
getting it.
ultimate
It's already in BTC. They're getting $20 worth of BTC at today's market price. They're not just buying it. They're getting all those Satoshis for free.
Yeah, so technically, if we had a giveaway last week, you'd be 50% down already.
Right? Just think of it that way.
Now that we're giving it away tomorrow, you could be like
The people that won Bitcoin the last
7,000%
giveaway.
up in a couple months.
Yeah, the people that won Bitcoin the last giveaway are probably so mad because they are so down.
Yeah. Be like, I won $20. Oh, it's only $8.95 now. Damn it.
Dude, you know how many people are probably going, tomorrow's Friday, I'm getting paid. Market's down. Happy dance.
DCA is going to be ravaged tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are they going to be able to break Ethereum? tomorrow, because we all know that it broke today.
Oh, I mean, all the government workers get paid tomorrow too. So I mean, we could seriously see like a little mini pump going on tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Guys, use a damn stop loss.
Say it.
please.
So you can say it. A fucking stop loss.
Say it.
use a fucking stop loss, please.
For the love of
I'm
God.
begging you to use the stop loss.
See, it felt good, didn't it?
Since we are giving advice right now, since you are giving advice, or
This is not
We're
advice.
not giving
giving
any
tips.
advice. No
Tips.
financial
Tips.
advice
No,
here.
no.
This is like, this goes into the category of do not eat yellow snow. You can do whatever you want.
Don't piss in the wind, okay?
don't look down the barrel of a gun checking for bullets while pulling the trigger.
Is this chamber cleared?
It is now.
That's like buying XRP, looking down the barrel.
I was on the Twitterverse and somebody was like, "Oh, I've been holding all my XRP." I'm like,
So
you're a dummy."
I like it. I like it. The Rizla says, "Let's play just a tip."
That's the tip.
Tips. Let's talk tips for anybody who's going to be watching in a market like right now, on a day like today. What are tips that you would like to give to the audience?
Ooh, you want to know the best one? Buy Bitcoin.
Buy it at cost.
Yep.
Hodl that.
Probably the best tip right there.
Great.
If you're trading and you're not using the stop loss, I would probably just sit on your hands until this is over.
Well,
Right. And if you're sitting there and you're mining and you're like, oh god, should I turn my rigs off? Just unplug the power cable off of it and super glue the power cables in and just walk away. This way the only thing you can do, the only thing you can do is reset the miner.
Always on, baby. Always on.
And
Yes,
then
yes, nefarious.
shares. Don't leave your PC with an open position.
Yeah, especially in a crazy market like this. I mean, we've seen 20-25% swings up and down, like, repeatedly in the past couple hours. Like,
Yes, if
these
you
altcoins are going crazy.
if you can't sleep because you're worried about your trade and you're constantly watching the price, you're doing something wrong. You should be able to enter your trade, enter your position,
Walk away.
be comfortable with that, and yes.
Yeah, take the emotion out of it.
Right, you just want to go, okay, I'm going to trigger my sell, I'm going to trigger my buy. Walk
And
away.
We were talking
Walk
about
away
this earlier.
untriggered.
We were talking about it earlier. New traders, they are not used to moves like this. People
Right.
that trade stock markets, they're not used to moves like this. So we dump 5 or 10%. They get that emotion of disbelief where, oh man, it can't dump.
You know what really is funny is that these traditional market makers aren't flocking to this because they have been dealing with slow and steady. Now, back in the 70s, these stock people were making huge money because of the volatility that actually was still there in the market. You go even to earlier days on stock market when it was just kicking off, it was 3 times more volatile than the Bitcoin market in its entirety. There were more scams being done on the original stock exchange than there, or even just as many as what we have here. It is the same Wild West that they were dealing with, and they were sitting there. A lot of companies were boycotting the stock market. Boycotting it.
I mean, we're
Why?
in stock market 2.0 right now.
Right. And here, stock market 1.0 is boycotting us. The traditional people who just made businesses, worked, and never dealt with finances on a global scale like that, they boycotted 1.0. They're like, no, we don't like cars. We don't want our horses to be replaced.
Yeah. My horse and buggy works just fine, thank you.
Right? I mean, you have there was so many scams in the early days stock market, and it's the same stuff that they're trying to call us out on. It's kind of funny to watch history repeat itself.
Always does. It's like the kids wearing freaking leg warmers these days. I'm like, what is it, 1994 again? What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rizzle, they halted trading on the stock markets. 15 minutes, I do believe. 15 minutes.
He also said, I think I could smell some of the traders' pants through my screen.
I bet you a few of them. I bet you even on this traditional stock market, there were people who got liquidated because, well, they didn't trigger a stop loss. Woo.
But, and then you got guys, like me and Nefarious. There was a couple times he had sent crypto, and it took so long, and shit got messed up, and then I had an open position where I couldn't exit out because everything froze up on me, and there was nothing we could do. So
yeah, there really isn't anything you can do. I mean, sometimes you take a hit right across the jawline.
Right, it's risky. You got to take it on the chin. I mean, if you're trading,
that's why they call it gambling.
Yes, if you're leverage trading, automatically think that you're going to lose it.
But on the stock market side, these guys were drunk on gains. Absolutely drunk. They were like, it will never go down. Not while Trump's in office. We're going to see green.
I think it was Nefarious that said this in the Discord, and I liked it a lot. He was saying something along the lines of, like, when the market is steady, or it's steady, people get lazy. People
get complacent.
Thank you. Complacent. They become complacent.
I wouldn't really call it lazy, because if you
missing the word, you said it for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a market just trading in one direction, you're like, and it's been doing that for the last 10 years. Why would you think anything differently?
Exactly. You've been trained for 10 years to think it's going to keep going.
Right. Since 2008, we've been on a tear. Oh, yeah. So all these traders that just got into the market 10 years ago and started watching it come up, they're like, wow, I'm on top of the world right now. And even those people who started in 2008, they're still way up there. So they're still sitting there going, this is temporary. It'll come back.
Yeah, they know.
And then you have your experienced traders, and they're just pulling out. They're like, dude, I'm done. Something's bad.
Moving to cash.
I mean, you have Warren Buffett that has liquidated more than half of his position in Berkshire Hathaway, which is his own company.
Because he knows.
What did he pull it into? Cash. That American dollar. It's like, why? Because he doesn't.
That currency that's being constantly
devalued. Yes, and he does. And Warren Buffett does not believe in precious metals.
What an idiot.
He thinks that
man, you should at least invest in lead.
He believes that cash is king. But
I mean,
if you think,
it kind of is. Though.
But if you really think about it, the man is old as all get out. So he was around. I mean, he was probably a kid. I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
He was around in the gold rush.
Whenever the Federal Reserve was being created.
Dude, his savings account was a daggum tomato jar buried in the dirt, okay? That's how old he is.
Right. He is old as all get out. So
you put the cash in the jar and bury it.
But since he's probably started right around the early days, he started around the early days of the Federal Reserve on his career. So he is one of the early adopters on the Federal Reserve that has gotten all the benefits. People in his age bracket, all the way up to the boomers, have gotten all the rewards. After the boomers, it has been on a slow decline for the benefits of the Federal Reserve. Why? Because the Federal Reserve was stealing from the future to pay the past. Well, the future is now here.
Yep, time to pay the piper.
We've got to pay back all the way to when the Federal Reserve was created. That's why...
Which is a private company, by the way.
Right. And it's why each person that's born today has got over $500,000 in debt the day they were born. Over $500,000 in debt. on day one.
Day one. Here you go. Have your debt
And
envelope.
with the inflation rate, that's never going down.
Right.
No.
You can't pay that off.
At this point, they can't. Like, it's literally impossible. You're,
But
you're
so
never gonna pay that money back.
basically now at this point, we have to pay back the Federal Reserve to make sure that Warren Buffett has his $1 billion. So
The
that
question is, what's the point in paying back the Federal Reserve? It's like, here, Federal Reserve, here's my $500,000. Oh, thank you. Let me go print some more.
right.
It's just like all the fiat we owe China. You know, they just devalue it to where they say, I don't want it anymore.
Well, no, that's the best
that
scam,
going.
and that's actually a really good scam that the United States has set up with China. So
yeah.
we give them worthless printed, and now people think it's paper, but it's actually cloth. So we give them worthless cloth, and they give us things like cars, washing machines, computers. We get stuff with
Really
these
shitty
dollars.
electronics.
What cars do we get from China? What cars do we get from China?
Toyota.
That's Japan.
That's all that's that whole Asian region.
How dare you?
I just kind of classified. It's like sitting there, you know, saying
Plastic in the car was made in China.
right,
Come
yeah. Everything was it was only assembled in Japan. Everything was made in China.
Hey, that's fine as long as there's.
And for the
you know,
stupid
Chinese-
part, and for the really high tech parts, they have to go in. They have to go in there. They hire the people in Taiwan to do it. Man, look at the stuff. I pull the stuff out of cars all the time. Made in Taiwan. Made in China. It says it right on the parts.
Yeah.
Unless
That's
it's
why
a
I couldn't
Ford,
say
then it's
anything.
made in Mexico.
Very rarely, you know, I have to work on a Ford Mustang from the '60s to actually see a Canadian build with the Canadian motors. You know, you don't even see that now.
No.
And Nefarious was saying that Toyota is actually built out of California and Indiana.
No, that's only as of now. Because
That's
why?
Canadian, too.
They wanted to take advantage of the U.S. dollar. They were getting hit with a bunch of ridiculous taxes on their end. They wanted to be more competitive in the market. So the only way that they could do it is if they put an assembly line into the United States. So they put 2 into the United States. All
Which is
their
unfortunate
parts,
considering that the quality has severely gone down.
all of their parts are still manufactured in the Asian region. And now because they're here, they're able to import it in for cheaper. Because now, quote unquote, they're an
it's already
American
here.
company. No, they moved their headquarters out here. So now they're a U.S. based company.
Yeah, they're just shipping to their own, you know.
Yeah,
US
but
company.
since they became U.S. based, they just recalled 40,000 cars.
Get ready for it. It's going to happen to a lot more of them. They are all
More than that, man.
The more manufacturers are going to start doing that because Ford should have done it with their 5.4 Triton motors that
The
you
Triton motor.
that you break spark plugs in the heads just by removing them.
Those 3-piece spark plugs are junk.
And they have a recall that they're not telling the public on. So if anybody has a 5.4 Triton motor and you break a spark plug in there, bring it right to Ford, have them replace the cylinder head, check the pistons, and replace the catalytic converter because that's where all the porcelain went.
That's right.
And their catalytic converter that's on that motor is $800 to replace it with an OEM one.
Oh yeah, OEM cats are no joke. They
Yeah.
get ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But no, we've had this problem
Good.
with Japanese cars ever since they moved it out of Japan. You know, when I worked at Lexus, like I think 2004 was the first year they started making Lexuses out of Canada.
Yeah.
Those Canadian Lexuses had so many effing problems.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
warranting brake boosters. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
like,
And they never did a recall on that, though.
No, it was always a TSB.
Uh-huh.
Technical service bulletin. There
Yep.
were never a recall.
Yep.
It was only per issue so
Yep.
you had to complain about it.
Just like GM's got one for their instrument clusters, they just periodically fail.
I was driving down the road, and then my instrument cluster went blank.
Yeah, or no, it dropped the needle will drop to 0. It'll make it look like you're doing 80. It'll look like you got 4,000 RPM on the motor. You'll have no fuel in there, and no recall on this. Just a TSB. So whenever you come in and you happen to have this issue, it gets resolved.
Yeah, if you don't say anything about it, the dealer will not fix it.
My Monte Carlo SS, my 04, it's actually got it's got a recall on it that they have not told anybody really about. Up until, I love this one, until somebody's car set on fire in their garage. They had to burn somebody's house down before they sat there and did a recall on my car. And after that house got burnt up because it was an attached garage, so it burnt up the whole house, they've discovered why it happened. Well, my car has a problem with the valve covers leaking. Bad. So bad that you can sit there and replace it, and then 2 months later the gasket starts to leak again.
Dude,
And it leaks right onto the exhaust manifold. Nice hot oil. Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah, they've been using such cheap components for their intake manifolds for,
Oh my God.
My parents had an old transport minivan. I think it was the 3.4 back then.
What up, Savage?
But the freaking head gasket will blow, and the upper intake gasket will blow all the time.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
you just use shitty paper gaskets.
I'm really glad
deteriorate rapidly.
I'm just really glad that I've got the supercharger variant on there, so I don't have the plastic intake. It's like people need to sit there and really think about what a motor is. It's a furnace. A furnace
a
slash
furnace.
Yeah, a furnace slash air pump.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna put plastic on top of a furnace. This is fine.
Expands and contracts all the time.
Yeah.
No good.
I had a 94 Bonneville. I had the plastic intake on there.
Oh, yeah.
You were able to do a quick little wide open throttle and let it close, right? You would watch the front side, the side of the intake that faced the serpentine belt. You'd watch it puff out and then suck back in. I was like, oh, this is where I'm losing all my power. When I pulled it apart to replace the intake, you couldn't see it from the outside, but from the inside you could see a diagonal crack right through the intake. I'm like, wow, I was able to start my car. Amazing. And did they do a recall on that? Nope. Did they do a recall on the fact that they were burning coolant because they were putting O-rings in there that were not made for the coolant in that plastic intake? Nope. They were just like, hey, we'll just replace it when it comes in. It's all good.
Yeah.
And then in a few years, we'll just make it obsolete so that whenever you do finally have your issue with your car, because maybe you bought it secondhand and they already fixed part of the problem, when it resurfaces again, because it will, we haven't been making that part in 2 years. I'm so sorry.
That's like going to a Ford
and
dealership.
On that note, we actually got to take off.
No.
But we'll be back tomorrow.
People gotta work, but we will be back tomorrow. Comment
night.
on last Friday's video.
Yes.
Kel can go ahead and pop that into live stream chat. Comment on there that you love Bitcoin. Be present tomorrow. All right, it starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, we have a spammer in the chat right now.
Ban him!
Banhammer.
Banhammer that guy, Crypto Mikel. Shame.
Harmful links being posted probably as well.
Right.
We're gonna get banned from live streaming.
And please, everyone, please, if you see anyone offering you Libra, tell them to fuck off.
It's that Facebook thing. You don't want it. It's always the same.
It's not even available yet. Like, what the hell?
It's never been available. It won't ever be available. Yeah. Just get over it.
Yeah.
It's like XRP people thinking that XRP is going to be used by banks and governments.
I don't understand why they come into our crypto discords and think that we're that naive and stupid that we would fall for that shit.
They probably get hundreds of people a day to do that.
Fucking retards.
I know, but I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're live streaming. That's why we push out all this knowledge. You know, help people. You know, not get wrecked.
Right.
That's the name of the game. Don't get wrecked.
Right.
And on that note, we've got to take off, guys.
Yep.
You all have a great one. Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Right.
And, it's been a lot of
Peace
fun.
out, everybody.
Oh yeah. Peace out, and
Good night, guys.
we'll see you tomorrow. Yo.
See you in 22 hours.
22 hours. He's already done the math. With that, guys, we'll see you.